Hello, my name is Victor Wolanski, and I'm going to show you quickly how I converted this shot to stereo 3D. As you can see in this shot, there's not a lot of motion. It's just the camera, it's shaking a little bit, moving a little bit, but the action in here is actually changing the focus point of the camera. And as you can see, it's going from very close to very far away. So actually what I'm doing in here is just animating the convergence. As you can see here in the camera panel, you'll see that the convergence value is actually animated. And if I set this to two views, you'll see how that point is actually being moved. Okay, so that's the way this is animated. It's pretty simple. And you actually start by loading the footage and setting the focal length of the camera, then your near plane and your far plane. Then I just used a orient scene node just to actually put the camera where I thought it was. It's not actually necessary for this case, but I just did it anyway. And then you're going to use this node that you're actually going to create from the using the create button in here. You can use the PFDepth object. Is this node that you see in here that has multiple tools that I'm gonna quickly show you. And actually right now we're looking at all the objects, but if you want, you can select, for example, and make some changes in here and just show some objects, or just the selected object if you want. For example, in this case, it's the ground plane. It's the first mask that I created, and using a modifier that is ramp, you can select from where to start the ramp here in the top to where it goes the ramp to the bottom of the scene, and how deep this object is in Z. And then you're just going to track it if it's needed, or in this case it was actually not tracked, but you could do that if you want. For example, like with this other object that we see in here, you know, the apple. Like I could, if I want, for example, add a little bit of depth to the apple, so it's not just that, like change this modifier to radial, and the apple will then have some volume like the real apple, as you can see in here. And then you can use tracking that is included on this same module. And then, for example, for this part of the bushes in here, as you can see, I created a mask, and in this mask we can actually see through these leaves, and that is because I use the detail keyer. If I turn off the detail keyer, you won't see through it. If I use the detail keyer, you can sample the color of the background, and you can make this just to trace some holes. And I also use a modifier in here that is image map. It's sort of like some kind of displacement mapping, so I can have some volume also in this. And this is actually all track using the same planar tracking that we have in this module. And then I have another branch and a little bit of more here in the front. And then I use two masks for the bird, And all this was tracked using the planner tracker that it's available within this same module. Then the last thing you're going to do in here is to use your use the node, the stereo render, in which case, like I told you, you can animate the convergence, and there is a lot of other parameters in here that one can use, for example, to test the comfort violations based on the viewer distance and the screen width. That will show you in green what will be comfortable for you to watch, and in red what will be uncomfortable or what can cause an eye strain, for example. And you'll see that this is actually in this point changing with the convergence, and this is of course something that we can adjust, changing the interocular distance or some of the other parameters that we have, disparity scale, for example. All those parameters can be adjusted to having this within comfortable parameters. Okay, well, as you can see, this was pretty easy and pretty fast. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.